Better late than never. This we the people do. Not attorney, not giving legal advice. Yeah, I give my opinion. Okay, that's all it is. I'm hearsay. This video's hearsay. Do your own research. Okay, never look straight forward. Always look around. You'll be able to protect yourself by any means necessary. That's including arm yourself with knowledge. Use that Second Amendment, people. All right. So I know that most of y'all out there probably have seen this. Okay, and there's probably been a couple other videos out there about this, but this is my take on it. And again, not attorney, not giving legal advice. And I'm going to give my opinion here in a minute.
His father-son arrested for fighting police after Litchfield basement fire reveals guns, ammo. 2 men were arrested in Litchfield after fighting police officers that were attempting to clear a fire in a basement, which contained a large amount of ammunition and guns. The 2 men attempted to re-enter the home despite being told to stay away from the building. When blocked from entering by officers, both men shoved the officers, who then told the men they were under arrest. Lanny Fentress continued to resist arrest by punching and throwing things at the police officers before being tased as well. Afterward, both men were apprehended. While being treated by EMS, Lanny Fentress continued to be uncooperative and refused to give the officer his information. Both men were then transported to the Grayson County Detention Center. Lanny Fentress is charged with menacing, third-degree terroristic threatening, third-degree assault of a police officer, and second-degree wanton endangerment of a police officer. Darren Fentress is charged with menacing, resisting arrest, and second-degree wanton endangerment of a police officer. Both of the officers were treated for smoke inhalation and injuries at the emergency room and released. Oh, thank God the officers are okay. This is how...
Okay, so this is actually the civil rights lawyer, okay, out of Virginia. Okay, just in case you want to check out the whole video, because I'm shortening it down from this point of view on this side of the camera. Okay.
Things normally go when police officers control the narrative, and everything was going swimmingly until the cases were presented at the grand jury.
A Litchfield police officer responding to a house fire is accused of assaulting a man and his adult son. Sergeant DJ Newton went to court this morning and pleaded not guilty.
Things get heated after Litchfield police and other first responders were called to a home on Risen Drive. This is Sergeant DJ Newton's body cam. The house is smoky from the fire when officers told Lanny Fentress and his adult son Darren to leave the home, fearing for their safety. They wouldn't leave.
Get out now.
Okay, so we're going to stop there, right there. Okay, there's been precedent about the Supreme Court saying that it's not the officer's job for your safety. However, there is officer safety, so their number one priority is their safety. So now this is basically, my opinion, somebody combating them. They don't like it, right?
Taser, taser, taser. A Grayson County special grand jury has now indicted Newton for this incident for misdemeanor charges of assault, terroristic threatening, menacing, and criminal trespassing. Lanny and Darren were arrested and charged with menacing, assault, and wanton endangerment of a police officer, but those charges have now been dropped. Litchfield police say Newton is on leave without pay after being indicted. Officer Justin Cockrell is not facing any charges. An internal police investigation is also underway. Lanny Fentress messaged WDRB Investigate saying the body cam speaks for itself. Newton's attorney, Thomas Clay, released a statement saying somehow the grand jury reversed the district court's finding and indicted Sergeant Newton on misdemeanor charges. This action is unprecedented in my experience.
The Litchfield...
All right, let's back up a little bit and pause that.
Saying somehow the grand jury...
So they don't understand how this happened. All right, so this is the way it's supposed to happen. We, the people, are being so dumbed down that we don't understand almost next to nothing about any form of law at all. And then they send people into juries that don't know any form of law. However, in this case, I am led to believe these people was kind of somewhat educated. Number one, when they actually read through this and I actually went by what the attorney said, you know, they actually investigate the paperwork and the body cams or whatever the prosecutors set forward to them, the number one question for anybody out there, for either a jury or a grand jury, okay, this is the one question you got to ask yourself. Do you want this to happen to you? And since it happened to this one person, then it did happen to you. Because if they get by with it with the one guy, then they're going to get by with it for the millions of other people out there. Okay? So, right now we say we have this thing called jury trial. Okay? The original intent in this country is trial by jury. Now, that's a common law thing. Once the jury made up its mind, the judges technically was never allowed to change it. Okay? That's the reason why the grand jury and all that, and even your local juries, is supposed to be unanimous. Okay? It was supposed to be extremely hard for government to get by with what government is getting by with today. Right? Well, you got to have 6 votes or this, it's 6 to 6 and all this. Well, that's not the way it's supposed to be. They did that on design, on purpose, to easily convict people. But the original intent in this country is supposed to be unanimous for any criminal to go to prison. So, that is a trial by jury. Now we're going to go into notification. Okay? Notification, trial by jury, or any other trial, right? Their job is 2 things. They are to judge the facts of the case, okay? Not hearsay, not probable, but the facts in the case. 2, right? They are to judge the law that was created in the facts of the law, okay? So let's just say, instance, your city came up with a law, let's just say law, or your state came up with a law, or the federal government came up with a law, saying no more people are allowed to wear green because that is for our army personnel of state, federal, towns, whatever, right? So you are no longer allowed to wear green. Okay? Well, there's people out there, their favorite color is green. Okay? So for them people that love green, that's violating their rights to wear what they wish to wear. Okay? So you get the juries on there that actually like green and a bunch of hunters per se, let's call it that, right? Well, they judge the law. Well, wait a minute. That's going to make my hunting next to impossible be to go out there. I'm judging this law. So therefore, I'm going to use notification, and this law is stupid, so this other hunter, right, is innocent. He's not convicted due to that law is no good, and it violates not only his rights, but every single member of the jury's rights. So that's where you get this deal of jury notification and trial by jury of judging the facts in the case, not hearsay and not probable cause, but the facts in the case, and judge the law within that facts of the case, and make sure that law does not violate the Constitution or any man or woman's rights. Okay? And that's the reason why we're supposed to have trial by jury. Because trial by jury is the judges itself. Jury trial is the judges instruct what the juries are allowed and not to hear or to hear. I'm a jury. I want to hear everything from the time that the body cam came on or the lights came on or even right before the lights came on. I want to know every little step of that officer to get to where the point is that man or woman got arrested. And which law, per se, that this alleged person broke. Okay? And is that law going to affect me and my freedom? People. So the grand jury turned around and had enough evidence with the facts, with the paperwork, to overturn the man in this and put in the officer, because the officer is the one that committed the crime. So they said, nope, we're indicting the officer. That's my opinion. Okay? I'm not an attorney, not giving legal advice. You guys do your own research. Okay? So therefore, this is the way I see it. And this is the way, if I was on a grand jury, this is what I would do, is judge the law or the facts and the law, and make sure it coincides with the Constitution. And if I have any questions, I need them, with being the grand jury, is to bring me of that statute that applied to give authorization from the Constitution, whether state or federal. Which Constitution of the statute did you guys write this under a said Constitution? Was it the Constitution of the Fourth Amendment? Or, Texas Code Article 1, Section 16. Okay? Where's this statute come from? Because I want to read that Constitution that gave the authority of that statute. And how did the codes and statutes and rules and regulations apply to the man or woman that's been charged in said case? And this is the problem we have today, people. We're not smart enough, educated enough of law, especially the Constitution, to even be a jury member. Whether you are a trial by jury or whether you're a jury trial, we're just not educated enough. So, for this to happen, they're right. It's unprecedented. But it's not. Okay? We drank alcohol today because of the grand jury saying, hey, they judged the facts and the law, and they said, wait a minute, I want to drink alcohol. This affects me too. So I'm going to use jury notification, and this guy's innocent. Well, I drank up the evidence. We got to make sure it wasn't water. So is this evidence? Yeah. Okay, go. All members of the jury takes a drink, make sure it wasn't water. Well, it's all gone. Evidence disappeared. Can't prosecute them. All right. This is the reason why we drink beer today. They was having very little successes on the prohibition on alcohol. That being said, we need to get back to the original intent. Okay? And judge the facts and the law and do the investigation to lead into how did that law come about and what Constitution gave authority to that law. Till next time, y'all. This will be the People News. Bye.